I like to see nerdy
Yeah.
heroes too.
I know they have a place. They do.
I married a nerd, and I tell you
Yeah.
what, nerds make the best husbands. So
That's good to know. That would be
yeah,
fun to see. Yes, yes. I
yeah.
know rom-coms you get that sometimes, but I haven't seen it in a suspense, but that could be intriguing.
Hi, Terri Gillespie here, and welcome to A, Author to Author with Terri. And I'm so excited. This is an author that I've been reading for a number of years, and this is my first time meeting her. So, um, her author's name is Dani Pettrey, and her latest novel, 2 Seconds Too Late, um, was just released. And so, one of the things I wanted to remind you to help support Dani and her new book by liking, commenting, sharing, and helping me out with subscribing. And if you hit that red subscribe button and the white dingy bell comes up, be sure and click that, and you won't miss any future episodes. So I'm so excited to introduce you to Dani if you don't already know her. So, Dani, welcome.
Hi, Terry. Thank you so much for having me. I just want to do a shout out to all my reader friends out there and everybody who's just been supporting me on this journey. And like Terry said, I hope you will like, share, and comment and subscribe to follow this broadcast.
Thank you. Yes, yes, amen. So, Dani, as someone who has built several homes, I understand that you're in the middle of a major project in the construction vein.
Yes, we are. So we moved to Florida in September, and 2 weeks later, Hurricane Helene hit. And we had only been actually physically in the house about a week at that time. So all our stuff was in boxes and bags and on the floor. So when we had 4 feet of water come in our house, it did not work out too good. So we lost 95% of our stuff and 2 cars. And it has been where we are just now literally getting back in our house, and the construction's not 100% finished. So we lived in 4 Airbnbs, and we're kind of partway back in our house. But we're just thankful to be back in, and we're thankful to everybody who encouraged us along the way. People were so sweet. They did Go Care funds, and they did Amazon wish lists, and they did, I mean, it's amazing. Like stuff will show up in the door and I'll just have a note, cheering you on, and Sarah and this and Jamie. And so it's been, I mean, it was a horrible thing to go through, but it's been the
Yeah.
biggest blessing seeing how God works through people's hands and feet. It's been a huge blessing to us to witness that and to be on the receiving end of that.
That's wonderful. There's
Yeah.
something, and I say this with great respect, but there's something liberating about
Yeah.
when our stuff is taken away,
Yes.
because we've gone through that a couple of times, not as
Yeah.
drastic as
Right.
what you
But you're
guys.
right. Absolutely. Yeah. There's just something that's almost like, you realize stuff is just stuff and it could have been so much worse. And, it's kind of like starting with a clean slate, to be honest. The house is all new and all of our stuff is new, and it's just a fresh start to kind of, and no clutter, so it's a positive, no clutter, no paper piles. So hopefully I keep it that way.
Yeah. So fortunately, your computer and everything else were.
Yeah, luckily I was
Yeah.
actually in Arizona for the Faith, Hope and Love conference, and I was keynoting,
Oh.
and I had my laptop with me, and my husband was back home, and he called me the following morning, and said, to talk, and I was in with a roommate, and I said, my roommate's sleeping, I can't talk. He goes, no, 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 you have to go on the call and call me back. And my husband never does this, like
Mhm.
never. So I'm thinking, oh my goodness, something happened to our daughters or the grandkids or like the dog, like what happened? So
Mhm.
I get out in the hallway and I call him back and he says, we have 4 feet of water in our house. I went, oh, thank goodness that's all it is. And he went, what? And I thought, you freaked me out. So I think there's that, you know what I mean? It could have been so
Yeah.
much worse. So yeah, I didn't actually get home until the next day. So they said I missed the worst of it because they got all the water out before I got home. So
Wow.
yeah, but luckily laptop with me. Husband had his laptop. He'd evacuated, and there just wasn't a way to take, everything kind of with us. So we feel
Yeah.
like we have like now we know what some things to do that could help in the future if that would happen again, that type of thing. But yeah, so it was a different homecoming than I planned on.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Well, I'm
Yeah,
glad you guys are okay.
yeah, we're good. Thank
Yeah.
you.
That.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know, I know. It was the
Add
whole
to that,
neighborhood
you
too.
were on a deadline, weren't you?
I was on a deadline, yes. And again, I'm on one now, actually. So May 5th is my deadline. So you guys can like pray and cheer me on for that.
Okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. So now, how is the best way for my viewers to keep in touch with you and follow
Sure.
your writing journey?
Absolutely. So there's a number of ways. One is through my website at danipettrey.com. I have a newsletter. I just shifted over. I have a brand new website and a brand new newsletter that I'm
Gorgeous.
getting ready. Oh, thank you. To going
Yes.
out. So stuff was kind of shifting for a little bit, but there'll be more newsletters coming soon. And then on Facebook, I have a readers group called the Suspense Squad, Dani's Suspense Squad. And it's where I hang out with my readers, and they can share with each other, and I can share with them, and it's been a really fun place to hang out. And people are always sending really fun gifs in there and memes, and I'm also on Instagram as well.
Yeah, we follow each other on Instagram. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, by the way, viewers, all of those links are down below in the description section. And I know her, Dani's website popped up. So don't worry, it's down in the description section, along with some other really great information on Dani. And I'll also do the link for the readers group and everything else so that that's fun. I may join that myself.
Oh, good.
So, Dani, your book, 2 Seconds Too Late, is a hold on to your imaginary hat for a roller coaster ride. It was great.
Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
Yes, definitely did. And I got to say, those twists and turns, and there were so many surprises. I mean, I'm usually pretty good about figuring stuff out, but I can still enjoy the story.
Mhm.
Hadn't a clue.
Oh, that's awesome to hear.
Yes.
That's what we
Yes.
want.
And I love that you have strong female characters. I
Mhm.
love that. And you can still have hunky, romantic interests and things like that.
Yes, absolutely. And I do. I love to write strong female characters. I just feel, women are very strong and independent and, bring an equal partnership to the relationship. And I have a soft spot for gentleman heroes. So I kind of like to combine the strong women, still strong guy, but with that gentleman side to them. And I hope readers enjoy that combination.
Yeah. I kind of want to do, I'd like to see nerdy
Yeah.
heroes too.
I know they have a place. They do.
I married a nerd, and I tell you
Yeah.
what, nerds make the best husbands. So,
That's good to know. That would be
yeah.
fun to see. Yes, yes. I
Yeah.
know rom-coms you get that sometimes, but I haven't seen it in a suspense, but that could be intriguing.
Yes. Yes.
Good.
Well, yeah. If you do a nerdy character, remember
Okay.
me.
I will. I'll remember where it came from.
So, as I mentioned in my top picks, I the reason why I love your stories is you have a strong sense of family, a strong sense of faith, as well as just suspenseful mysteries and
Mhm.
romance. So, um, But when I read the first paragraph of your book, but I would love for you to read an excerpt if you
Sure,
could.
I would love to do that. I will probably pick one that I'm going to read from a little bit into the first chapter. It's partway through. So, and I don't have my glasses on me, so we're going to hope this goes well. Okay. Riley jolted upright in bed. Sweat drenched, she blinked, panic shaking her limbs. Not again. It had been a month, and still the nightmares came. Deep breath. Take one. Only shallow spurts wheezed out. She yanked off the smothering covers and ran a trembling hand through her damp hair. Her soul and body weary, she planted her feet on the cold winter floor as Pete's glazed over eyes haunted her waking dreams. Rising from bed, she hurried to the hook on the wall and slipped into her bathrobe, then hopped in her fluffy slippers against the far wall. It had been the coldest December on record for she didn't know how many years. Half awake, she shuffled into the kitchen situated at the rear of her house, the windows overlooking the mountains stretching to the sky. She yawned, hoping she'd remember to program the coffee pot. Her gaze started to the red machine, aromatic coffee dripping into the carafe. Thank goodness. Sleep had eluded her again. She had no choice with Pete. It was either him or her. No question about it. So why did her guilt continue to saturate her soul? Why wouldn't her heart heal? She leaned against the counter and grabbed a cup of steaming coffee. Speaking of her heart, her gaze shifted to the photo of her PI firm. She smiled at the ragtag bunch, all ragtag save for Grayson Chadwick, who always wore well-tailored suits that fit oh so right. She smiled, a soft hint of a smile on his lips. If she could just transport forward an hour, she'd be in the office, and the strange sense of peace that filled her whenever she was in his presence would settle her mind, at least for a time. Seeing him was the best part of her day. She sighed, if only the reverse were true. The soft purr of a motor hummed in the distance. Odd, it wasn't the rumble of her brother Deckard's SUV, nor her brother Christian's new Bronco. It rolled away from her house, heading east. Even odder, no one but the three of them used the back way off the ranch. Setting down her coffee mug, she moved for the front of her house, curious who was visiting so early. Gravel crunched on the drive leading away to the main house at the top of the hill where Deckard lived and faded away. Sun slit through the glass panes on either side of her front door. She opened it and reached for the screen door when something jabbed into the sole of her foot. Taking a step back, she peered down. A white envelope lay wedged between the two doors. Bending, she picked it up, examining the protruding shape. She flipped it over. Keep it safe at all costs. I'm trusting you.
So, Dani,
Yes.
can you tell me what you're working on next without any spoilers, of course?
Sure. Yes. So the deadline that I have May 5th is for book 3. And I will say it's Harper and Deckard's story, which I'm super excited to tell as it started out in the first book. And we don't really see much in the second. So we get to pick back up with them in book 3. And I'm super excited about it. And starts off with a close friend of Harper's being murdered.
Yeah, well,
Supposedly murdered. Maybe not. We have to wait and find out.
ooh, okay. Well, one of the things I love about your books is that you can technically read them as standalones.
Yes.
It's always better when you read them in order,
Mm-hmm.
but if you just start out, you don't really get lost. You can get into the book.
Which is great. I try to write them that way so that the couple has their own romance, the suspense has its own story, that part's all standalone, and try to give enough information so somebody can just jump into it.
Mhm.
But you also see the characters throughout the series, so it can work either way.
Yeah, it's so nice to have siblings too. And what's unique about them is that they had a really difficult childhood, and how you develop their stories and their character and their journeys with healing. when certain
Yeah.
things happen, it like triggers. It's
Yeah. Yeah, they have a lot that they're struggling to overcome, and there's definitely things that they have good days and then they get triggered on stuff, and then it's, a rough patch. And I think we all kind of go through that, in our walk with Christ, where we have struggles and, up times, and then times where we just, need his work in our lives even more. So it's been fun creating the family. I'm enjoying when I get to each book, seeing how that different sibling reacts to things in their own book.
yeah. Well, and you left us a great cliffhanger on the end of this book. So so one of the things that I love to do on these videos, now the blog interview will have some great Q&A
Mhm.
information, but I love asking kind of fun
Yeah,
questions.
that's great.
So one of the things that I asked Dani was, how about telling us something about yourself that most people don't know?
Yes. So most people don't know that I write my whole first draft longhand. I get notebooks and my favorite pens, which are erasable, which is a good thing for me. And I just write it out longhand. And I have my own little shorthand that I've created to make it go faster. That nobody, my husband looks at it, he's like, I can't even read your regular handwriting. I don't know what this is. So but it's quirky and it works for me. So the a blank screen for some reason is way more intimidating than a blank page for me.
Mm-hmm. So you're more of a tactile person.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, I'm the same
definitely.
way. I'm the same.
Yeah. I've
So,
still got the hardback calendar. So, oh, do you? Yes, see, you gotta have that.
no, and my husband has his all on his phone, and he'll
Yeah,
say, "Well, how do we look on this day?" And it's, I don't know, the
I don't know. Gotta
calendar.
have a calendar. Yes,
Yeah,
that's
what are we gonna do?
right.
Now, on that note,
Yes.
this month's giveaway is really great. So, Dani is giving away the first two books in this new series, Jeopardy Falls. It's going to be, oops, 2 seconds too late. And first book, One Wrong Move. Pretty exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Hope
you.
readers enjoy them.
Oh, they will. They will. I have quite a few viewers that are mystery and suspense fans. So,
That's
um,
great.
so appreciate that. And Emily at Bethany House, thank you, lady. Now, how many viewers would like this giveaway? And it's really pretty simple. Like, comment, share, subscribe, both on the YouTube and on the blog. And also, if you be sure, if you only comment on the YouTube, be sure and put your profile address to social media like Instagram or Facebook or the Twitter X thing. Yeah, I'm debating. If you could put that address, that way I can alert you without you publicly displaying your email address. So the drawing will be held Friday, May 16th. And unfortunately, only entries from the contiguous US are eligible. So, Dani, any final words you would like to share?
Sure. Just thank you for having me so much. Thank you for Bethany House for Emily, who provided the copies for the giveaway. Really appreciate that. And thank you to my readers who are going to be picking up a copy or who have maybe already pre-ordered it and are reading it. I hope you really enjoy Grayson and Riley's adventure.
Yes, I know they will. I know they will. Just so, yeah. Well, thanks everyone for watching the 52nd interview episode. And one last reminder to be sure and check that description section for all those great links including social media, both Dani and myself. And we do appreciate those likes, follows, and subscribes. Next month, the A2A featured author is the best-selling and award-winning author, Ryan Steck. And your hubbies, your sons, your nephews are going to love him too. So I don't know if I can say this, but it's a very testosterone driven book. So it's very
Gotcha.
manly, very manly.
It's very manly book. Yes.
Yeah, but I
Male
still
readers.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, I do have guys that read my books, which is interesting. I always think, you know what I mean? And I read books my husband reads and, things I wouldn't maybe enjoy, and I love them. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Writing is good. Good writing is good. And great story. It doesn't matter what you're writing.
that's true. That's true.
So, Dani, it's been a pleasure to finally meet you, and you've been a wonderful guest.
Oh,
And
thank you.
thank you so much, viewers, for watching. And in the meantime, we'll see you next month. And God bless and keep reading.
Reading.
Read.